What's up, guys? Welcome to Among the Fence. My name is Aaron, and it is so good to be back. I just took a week-long vacation down by the beach. I did have a video planned, but I decided to take that time to just relax and do absolutely nothing, which seemed appropriate after my last video, which is about mental health, which was received so well. Thank you guys so much for all your kind comments and all your just help you guys offered, not just to me, but other people who talked about their struggles with depression and anxiety. It means so much to me that so many of you just got behind that. And it was just so encouraging to me. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to do that video, especially since it was, out of my schedule of New Music Fridays. But it's a video I've been wanting to make for quite a while because a lot of people have talked to me a little bit about mental health and stuff that I've met through this channel. And I just never found the appropriate time to do it. And after the passing of Trevor Sternard, I'm like, this is it. This video I've had planned. This is the perfect time to talk about it. And I just didn't want to miss out on the opportunity to reach out to anybody else who needed help. So thank you so much to everybody. I mean, it's got 5,000 views, a lot of I don't even know. It's insane. Thank you guys so much. But I am back and I'm ready to talk about some new music. Today we're going to be doing a review on State Champ's newest album, Kings of the New Age. For those of you who don't know who State Champs are, which would be kind of weird, they are a pop punk band from New York. They started around 2010, and Kings of the New Age is their fourth studio album. And I just recently got into State Champs, maybe about a year ago or so. So they're still fairly a new band to me. And two other bands released albums this past couple weeks. The first one is Stand Atlantic, dropped their third studio album titled Fear, and Simple Plan released a new album after about 6 years titled Harder Than It Looks, and I believe it is. But I was just most excited about State Champs, especially since they're so new to me. And Stand Atlantic is definitely a lot newer as well, but I'm a lot more aware of them. And State Champs, I don't know, I was craving new music. You know when you discover a new band, and you're like, when does their new music come out? And you're looking up all this stuff and you're like, oh my gosh, they're releasing something next year, and you get all excited. That's definitely how I was. Kings of the New Age kicks things off with the first song, Here to Stay, that starts out with a buzzy guitar riff. Kind of feels like summertime, and the vocals are very reminiscent and unique to State Champs. I believe that this song is about going through a trying time and coming out okay, and now we're here to stay. While I believe the next song eventually is about all your problems are going to catch up to you eventually. It's got a strong drum presence, and the chorus has a really good hook to it. The bridge has a beautiful guitar passage that I enjoyed a lot. It feels very dreamy. My least favorite part of the song was the vocal effect, which, I mean, State Champs vocals aren't really my favorite vocals to begin with. I'm not really all that into the tone. My least favorite part of the music, probably, and having that vocal effect on it just pushed it a little bit more in that direction of me not really liking it. Then we have the third song and the third single released, Everybody But You, which was promoted on TikTok. And it was like, it was a contest where fans can post like old ugly pictures of themselves and like new pictures of themselves or something like that to win merch, which is, I guess it's kind of cool, even though it's sad to think of people posting pictures of themselves where they think that they're ugly, I guess, even though I guess that's kind of a way of getting over it at the same time. I don't really know. It's about being with someone who's super toxic, and even just hanging out with them is like comparing it to working on the weekend. It's got an acoustic intro, and the post-chorus makes you want to sing along. The bridge is verbally bouncy and pretty playful. The next song, Out of My Head, is the exact opposite, though. It's about not being able to get somebody out of your head. The verses are very groovy, and they have a really good bass line to them with great vocals. The drums really shine through to me, especially in the chorus. That is super catchy thanks to the lead melody that kind of plays along with the rhythm as well and along with the vocals. It might be one of my favorite melodies on this album. It's really hard for me to pick a favorite song just because they were all very much the same in terms of how good they were to me. They all have different parts in them that really shine through. Fake It feels a little bit slower and a little bit more nostalgic, as well as the narrator is thinking back to past summer flings. The chorus has almost like this country thing to it in the vocals and the riffs, which I know State Champs is kind of known for doing, which is kind of weird that I like them because I don't really particularly care for country at all. The bridge is very heartfelt. It has a good build-up going into the final chorus, complete with clapping. The song Half Empty features Chrissy Costanza from Against the Current in the bridge, and she is absolutely phenomenal. Since this is about having a significant other that you consider to be your other half, it seems to work really well having the two kind of not really going back and forth, but you could kind of hear like both sides of the story, even just in the vocals and the emotions alone. I really enjoyed the echoey guitar riff and I don't know, it's sort of like a clock sound. It sounds like time is winding down, and it gives you this sense of desperation in the song. Then we have the seventh song and the first single to be released, Just Sound. It's got a great driving riff to it and a catchy chorus I didn't particularly care for, just because it seemed like its only purpose was to be catchy, mainly in the lyrics. Like, it kind of has this first single syndrome where they try to just release something that's kind of more of an earworm than anything else, something that you can remember, something you kind of get excited about, but it's just very superficial. It didn't seem like they put too much work into the lyrics. The verses were a little bit more there, but the chorus, every time I heard it, I just kind of got bored. Mitchell Tenpenny, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, is featured in the bridge of Act Like That. And again, he adds so much to the song, but not in the same way that Chrissy does. Chrissy added more of an emotional thing to the song, where I feel like this is just a contrast in voices, which, it still hits. It still hits really good. His voice is deeper than Derek's, so it stands out a lot more. And the chorus is very catchy, but again, it kind of feels like that's its only purpose, is just to be catchy. Unlike the next song, Where Were You, that has a very catchy chorus to it, but it also adds to the story. And the main riff is a little heavy, and it's a nice touch, and it brings the energy back up from the past two songs that were a little bit lower, a little bit, I guess you could say, bouncy, a little bit more poppy. And this one just brings the energy back up going into the last half of this album. Sundress keeps that energy going as it features Dan O'Connor and Alan Day from 4 Years Strong in the bridge, which it seems like that's where all the features are in these songs. They're all in the bridge. It does have some great imagery explaining the scenes of the song, and it really puts you in it. The guitar riff and bass really carry the verses, I would have to say. And having 4 Years Strong in the bridge adds a lot of grit to it, which, all the other vocals, even the features in this entire album has been pretty smooth and very clean. And just having those dirty and gritty vocals just to mix it up just does so much. And the outro is fantastic as well, being one of my favorite moments on this album. Like I said, I don't really have a favorite song. This one would probably be close to it, but this is definitely the best thing I've heard on this album so far. The closing track, Some Minds Don't Change, has this throwback feel, mostly in the atmosphere, to the first song, Here to Stay. I believe that this song is about someone jumping ship and missing out on the band's journey. I'm assuming. I'm not really sure if it's about the band or if it's about just someone's life and they're just missing out on where they're at right now. The chorus is very much on the nose, and it's very powerful with tons of hooks. I love the lyrics, how they don't hold back. And normally I have a problem with things being on the nose because I really love metaphors. But this works so well because he's basically just saying how he feels, which in something like this, it can be very hard to do. You can come off sounding very arrogant, very holier than thou, like you missed out on all this greatness. But it's done in such a way where it doesn't feel like that. It feels a lot more celebratory, as in like, man, you could have stayed with us. You could have hung out like this. You could have been part of this. And it sucks that you're not, instead of like, haha, you suck that you're not part of this, I guess. It's definitely a solid closing track and an ending to this album, which kind of goes up and down through hurt, missing people, relationships. It's kind of, I would say it's mostly based all around relationships in one way or another, in terms of like a romantic relationship or even just a friendship. I'm kind of assuming, I didn't look too much into this and there wasn't a whole lot of information about what this whole album is about, but this song definitely seals it all up nice. I love this album. It's fun, it's quick, it's got some really deep moments to it. There isn't too many standout moments on this album though, other than hooks and some of the features. The drum work and the bass lines were really good, but as far as riffs go, there's nothing that really makes me want to hear it again. There's nothing where I'm like, wait, I gotta learn how to play this on my guitar. It's all just fairly straightforward and not very eventful. And because of that, my issues with this album kind of fall in the same pile as my compliments. Like, the features were all used in the exact same way. They all showed up in the bridge, which is kind of predictable after a while. And there's not really a whole lot of catchiness to the music. Like I was saying, the riffs don't really have anything that make you want to go back to them. Some of the melodies are good, and some of the stuff in the intros are good. Like, they have some powerful moments there. But I mean, nothing else within the songs. And still, this is one of the better pop punk albums I've heard in quite a while. And like I said, I really did enjoy this album. So with all that said, I got to give Kings of the New Age by State Champs a 7 out of 10. But I want to know what you guys think, especially if you're a pop punk head and you've been in State Champs for a while. My preferred genre of music is metal, so I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone doing a review on this. So yeah, leave a comment below letting me know what you thought of the album, what you would rate it, and what your favorite song is. And if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to give it a like, leave a comment below, also letting me know what I should review next. If you want to help support me and my channel, please consider subscribing and ringing the bell icon. Doing any of that stuff helps me out tremendously, and I thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to listen to me talk. And I hope you have a good rest of your day or night, whenever you happen to be watching this. And I will talk to you guys next time.
I was trying